Okay, so Baidu's latest earnings report just dropped, and honestly, it's a real head scratcher. It's like reading two completely different books at the same time. On the surface, the numbers just don't add up. So let's do this. We're going to deconstruct this thing and get to the bottom of what's really happening with this Chinese tech giant. So here's the central mystery, right? How can a company's profit absolutely soar while its revenue is actually shrinking? I mean, think about it. Baidu's total revenue dropped 4% from last year. That's not great, but somehow their profit went through the roof. How on earth does that happen? Well, if we can solve this riddle, we unlock the key to understanding the massive, massive change going on inside Baidu right now.
And this is where it gets really wild. Take a look at these numbers. The official profit, what they call GAAP profit, is up a whopping 33%. You see that and you think, wow, they're crushing it. But then you look at the non-GAAP number. Now, this is the one a lot of analysts look at to see how the actual business is doing. And that number, it tanked, down 35%. So what gives? Which one is the truth?
Okay, first things first, let's solve this profit puzzle. Because once we figure out why these numbers are telling two completely different stories, we can get to the real drama unfolding at Baidu.
All right, so here's the deal with GAAP versus non-GAAP. Think of GAAP as the number that includes everything, even one-off lucky breaks. Like, say, your stock portfolio has a great quarter. That's what happened here. Baidu's investments, totally separate from their main business, went up by a staggering 531%. That one-time gain is what's making the GAAP number look so good, but it has nothing to do with how their search engine or AI cloud is performing. Non-GAAP, on the other hand, is designed to ignore that kind of stuff. It strips out the investment noise. And when you do that, you see a core business that's actually under some serious pressure. So yeah, forget those investment gains. That's just a distraction. The real story is way, way more dramatic. We're not just looking at a bad quarter here. What we're seeing is a snapshot of a giant company desperately trying to reinvent itself while its old foundation is basically crumbling beneath its feet. And this really gets to the heart of it. It's like there are two different Baidus living under one roof right now. You've got the old Baidu, the legacy search and ad business, and then you've got the new Baidu, these fast-growing AI projects. And man, are they heading in completely opposite directions.
So let's start with old Baidu. This has always been their bread and butter, their cash cow, right? Online marketing, search ads. But look at this. The revenue just fell off a cliff, a 15% drop compared to last year. That is a massive, blinking red flag for what used to be their core business. But then you flip the coin and look at the new Baidu. This is everything else, mostly their AI cloud and self-driving cars. And holy cow, look at that growth. Up a massive 34%. It just crossed the 10 billion yuan mark for the very first time. It's a completely different universe.
And you can really see how fast this is all happening. Just last year, these new AI ventures made up about 28% of Baidu's main revenue. A year later, they're already at 38%. That's a 10-point jump in just 12 months. We are literally watching Baidu transform from an advertising company into an AI company right in front of us. So the big question is, what's behind this AI explosion? Let's dive a little deeper and look at the two main engines driving this whole thing, their AI cloud and their self-driving car unit, Apollo Go. First up, Baidu's AI cloud. And to be clear, they are crushing it here. For 6 years in a row, they've been #1 in China's AI public cloud space. In just the first half of this year, they won more big AI contracts than anybody else. And here's the really smart part. They're moving more and more to a subscription model. That means stable, predictable money coming in the door every month. That's huge. Okay, now for the other engine, Apollo Go, their robo-taxi service. And the numbers here are just mind-blowing. In just the last quarter, their cars gave 2.2 million rides with no driver inside. Let that sink in. That's up 148% from last year. This isn't some little experiment anymore. This is a massive, real-world operation happening at scale. And what they're doing to expand globally is frankly brilliant. Instead of spending billions of dollars to build their own fleets of cars all over the world, they're just partnering with the big guys. Think Uber and Lyft. Baidu provides the technology, the brain for the car, and they just plug it into these massive ready-made ride-sharing networks. It's a genius way to go global super fast without needing a mountain of cash. So when you put all this together, it creates two totally opposite views on Baidu's future. And this is the debate that every investor is having right now. You've got the bull case, and you've got the bear case. So the bulls,
the optimist, they're looking at that insane AI growth and saying, look, they're doing it. They're turning into a powerful AI company, and the stock is a bargain right now. But then the bears, the skeptics, they shake their heads. They're pointing at that collapsing ad business and saying, yeah, but these new AI projects are burning cash like there's no tomorrow. There's no way they can make up for the losses. And you can see this split perfectly in how they interpret one surprising detail. Baidu actually cut its R&D spending by 13%. The bulls see that and say, that's smart. They're being disciplined. They're moving from pie-in-the-sky research to stuff that actually makes money. The bears look at the exact same number and say, that's a panic move. They're in trouble, and they're cutting costs in the one place an AI company absolutely cannot afford to cut. Now, to really get why the bears are so worried, you have to understand Baidu's problem with advertising, and it's not what you think. It's not that the ad market in China is shrinking. This quote nails it. The market has shifted, and Baidu found itself on the wrong side of that shift. And the proof? Well, it's pretty brutal. In the same quarter that Baidu's ad revenue fell 15%, their rival Tencent saw its ad revenue grow by 20%. That tells you everything you need to know. This isn't a bad market. This is Baidu losing a massive chunk of its market share to companies that own video and social media. So where do we go from here? If we want to figure out who's right, the bulls or the bears, there are a few key things we all need to keep a close eye on. It's all going to boil down to a few critical questions. First, can that AI cloud business actually start making a profit? Second, will those big partnerships with Uber and Lyft really take off and scale up? Third, can Baidu figure out a new way to make money from its AI-powered search? And maybe the biggest question of all, that scary 15% drop in ad revenue. Does it stop there or does it get even worse? When you strip everything else away, it all comes down to one single high-stakes question. Baidu is in an all-out race against time. They're betting the entire company on a future built on AI. The only question is, can that AI future arrive before its advertising past completely disappears?